Well, Bert Kreischer has joined us a few times, and that guy's a lot of fun.
Yeah, he, Tom Segura, and others are part of the Death Squad Network. Don't worry, this isn't the kind of group federal officials should be aware of.
It's not. Tom's with us this morning. Good to see you, Tom.
What was that laugh about?
That was Bertha.
The picture. Yeah, the laugh.
Hey guys, do you guys have Heineken? Yeah.
He drinks a lot of Heineken.
He drinks a lot of everything.
Oh, okay.
He's barely alive. You didn't know that? That guy's liver is shut down.
Do you drink a lot?
No.
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 I eat a lot.
Yeah, well.
You've got a story. Wow, we'll get there.
Well,
Maybe
let's
we
talk
have
about the
time.
Death Squad, because Bert's part of this Death Squad network. What is this?
I mean, that you know, it's not like an official, we're going to kick in the door of your home. It sounds like the Gestapo
very
or something.
intimidating.
It does.
No, basically it's a, you know, Joe Rogan is a buddy of ours, and he kind of coined the name for like the crew that he used to like hit the road with. You know, it's like comics like Joey Diaz, Ari Shaffir, Brian Callen, and then it kind of took off from there, where I think it just kind of talks about with the group of guys that are all just buddies that are comedians. So that's keeps going, Sam Tripoli, Red Band, myself, and Bert, and so people just go, oh, Duncan Trussell, they go, Death Squad. It just means that like that group of guys.
Part of that group, but you guys don't ever perform together? Or
Sometimes
you
we'll do the Ice House in Pasadena, or sometimes there's like little tours where a group of those guys will go out. But you know, it's just like it's kind of like saying, I don't know, like a record label or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
no, I
like,
get it.
Right, no, I
but
get
it's
it.
not. No one's signed. Or not like, are you in this or not? It's
Right.
not like that.
There's no
you know?
blood exchange.
There's no initiation.
No.
You speaking of performing with other comedians, we've talked to your wife when she was here about the podcast.
Yeah.
You do together and
Your
and
mom's
have
house.
Your mom's house.
Yeah. Yes.
How it came about. This picture is fabulous.
Yeah, we took that at Sears.
That's great.
Did you? You did.
Yeah, and then people ask me if I have Bell's palsy when they see it, because it looks like half my face is dropping off.
You were just trying to be silly, I take
Well,
it.
yeah, I wanted to do like a bad pose, you know, but it's more fun to not explain that and just send it to a club,
Let
and
it
they're
be.
like, all right, like this is your.
Boy, this guy's
picture.
coming.
And I can't remember, I think we talked to her about how did you guys meet? Just at a club?
We
or
met doing stand-up, yeah, at this place called the Cat Club on Sunset. We were both like open micers, and then she was out front smoking a cigarette, and she had like fishnet on. I was like, this chick gets down. And then, and she had a lot of attitude, and then, you know.
You have a lot of attitude.
No, I like just girls with bad attitude, so I was just drawn to her. And now we do a podcast where there's a lot of farts, basically.
Do you have kids?
It's very juvenile. No,
No.
we do not. No.
Yeah.
We're like a couple of kids, like with behavioral
No, she was
Well,
great to meet, so I'm glad to be
She's
able
the
to
best.
complete the
Yes,
equation now.
She is the best.
That's
Christina
cool.
Pajitsky, if you don't know.
I was telling you, we were listening back in the office before the show started. We were listening to this. You called into a radio show last year. You were telling the story
I
about.
thought you meant earlier today because I was talking a different part of that story today.
Oh, okay. No. I was
Okay.
listening to a different radio show, but you were
yes.
telling the story how you were playing in Pittsburgh, I think.
Yes.
And then Mike Tyson was on your flight.
Yes.
And then you met him, right?
I met Tyson on my flight, and I started talking to him on the plane, which was just crazy to have that conversation. And then basically before he got off the flight, he was saying that he'd seen me on Netflix, and I go, you know, that's crazy. And then he was like, yeah, give me your phone number. And I was like, seriously? And I gave it to him, and we, you know, it was kind of like that was
Right.
that.
See you later, yeah.
I thought it was like just a cool thing that like that happened. And then the next day, he texted me, and then he called me, and he was like, we're coming to the show tonight. And I was like, no way. And I called the club, and I was like, hey, Tyson is coming tonight. And they were like, Mike Tyson. I was like, no, Tyson Chicken. Yeah, Mike Tyson. Yeah. And then they didn't believe me.
Right.
And they were like, Mike Tyson is not coming. I was like, all right, dude. And then like half an hour later, the guy's like, Mike Tyson's here. I was like, yeah, I know. I told you.
I told you guys.
Like, and then he, you know, he was so cool. He hung out, like he watched the show. I thought he would leave like celebrities, you know, like, hey, he popped out, you know. He hung out, and then he was like, hey, let's go to the green room. Which then I realized he took me to my green room. Like, usually it's like you invite the person. He was like, we're going to your green room. I was like, all right, man, let's go to the green room. And that's what everybody does with Tyson is like, whenever he's like, let's do something, everyone's like, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
let's
you
go.
don't ask
Right.
too many questions.
So then we went and hung out. He could not have been nicer.
great
It's like
to
one of
hear.
the coolest things that ever happened. to me,
That's
for sure.
special that he's watching on Netflix.
Yes.
It came out, what, last year?
It came out it's already
Yeah.
been, it's almost
Great
a year now.
response to it, though.
It's
Didn't you
been-
get from fans?
It's been really cool. Netflix is you forget that it's in like 50 million home or people.
Well, yeah,
50 million people
we
have
have
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Netflix
special
today.
is called Completely Normal.
This isn't a clip from that special, but in this clip you tell a story, Tom.
Yeah.
But you tell it in a way where people are cracking up, but it was a serious point
Yes.
in
this
your
is
life.
Overdosing.
Yeah.
Right?
When you were in your teens, right?
I was a freshman in college and I overdosed on GHB and like I took ecstasy and I drank. But it's the date rape drug, but I gave it to myself.
That's GHB.
So-
That's what GHB is.
GHB is yeah. It's
You didn't
like,
really know what you were taking, though, right? Doctors ultimately found some stuff in your system that you
yeah.
weren't
I mean,
sure
I knew
about.
what I was taking because I had taken it before because it's fun to get high. But I didn't realize that I shouldn't take 100 hits at once, like that kind of thing.
Have you heard from people who in some way relate to your story and they
Yeah,
get
they're like
something
drugs
out
are
of
fun.
it?
You're right.
No,
And
or
then you
the
say-
survival part of it, where they
Yeah.
see how you your approach to it now.
Yeah,
They
no, I
appreciate
mean,
it.
people have been like, hey, it's good that you're so fat that you lived through that amount of drugs, and things like that.
That's
And
part of the story.
that's part
right?
of
The
it.
doctors basically said it's good you had a few extra
That
pounds
you were
on
bigger, right?
yeah, they were like, a
helped
horse
survive.
would have died. So yeah, I guess like it's good that.
You're
yeah.
not that big. Like,
No,
I'm
you're not
looking
that
at you
big.
here. You're not.
I mean, I'm not in a wheelchair where I'm like, or a motorized cart, but I'm not.
I'm telling you,
thin.
go easy on yourself.
Yeah, no, I mean,
You gotta be
basically,
nice to
here's the
yourself.
lesson. Hardcore, like GHB is not a drug you should play with,
Yeah.
right? I took a lot of it, and I drank on top of it, so it was like a fatal,
Right.
or should have been. And then I just learned to do drugs in moderation.
Right.
So
Your dad's response was my favorite.
yeah, he was awesome.
What do you say?
I was in a hospital bed with tubes in my throat, and like I couldn't talk, and I had to breathe, breathalyze. Like everything was being done for me, and I just wrote on a piece of paper I was like, "Are you mad at me?" Because I was like,
Yeah, are you mad?
And he looked at it and he goes, "No, just disappointed." And I was like, "Dude, I'm dying."
Can we have this conversation
Yeah.
a few
Can we do
days
this
from now?
later?
Well, we're glad you're here. We're glad you're at the Funny Bone this
Thank you.
weekend. 2 shows tonight,
Indeed.
2 shows tomorrow, and then Sunday at 7 o'clock. Call the Bone phone, 493-8036.
Thanks,
Don't
Tom.
do GHB, guys.
Don't do
Lesson
it.
du
No.
jour.
Good
Next
lesson.
for
Thank you
boys
for having
Thanks,
me.
Tom.
who
No,
didn't